Hello world, my name is Jake Cawell and you are looking at a bucket. Well, actually it's not a bucket, it's just a 1972 MG Midget, but still, you can see why it was often called the bucket back in its day. Relative to me, this car stands at right around my belly button. And that's with the glass rolled up. With it down, it'd probably come to my shin. But hey, that's the reason why it was named the Midget. It was a cutesy, apologetic name that made customers didn't mind the fact that the car in itself was cramped for anyone over 6 foot. It didn't matter, because it offered pure driving experience at an affordable price. And yes, even though it has British Leyland quality, including taillights ripped from the Austin Maxi, it is still a very lovely and well-driven sports car. And I could definitely say that it was. I actually owned this car, the MG Midget, although it was a much later 1979 version with a couple cosmetic enhancements that could only be described as fish-faced. It still retained that lovely, nimble quality to it. And that was due in large part to the engine. It was equipped with BMC's venerable B-Series inline-4 engine that developed 95 brake horsepower. Yes, it may be only 15 more than the Nash Metropolitan over there, but that 15 horsepower was very much felt in this car. And this 3-wiper system is actually standard to the car. It's not some aftermarket guy that some dodo bird did on. It actually came out of the factory that way. And it's accentuated by an electrical system under the hood. And speaking of electrics, this car was notorious for not being reliable. For one reason, the electrics. There was a reason why the Lucas Manufacturing Company was known as the Prince of Darkness. But besides that, the interior, as you can see, is very much original. You have that sort of 70s sunset orange, perhaps, with a little bit of brown. The seats are very faded, but also presentable. Black carpeting, 4-speed transmission shift knob, again supplied by BMC that British Leyland just took. The original stereo cassette player from DOS. And the gauges that, of course, are all from Lucas, and that means half of them probably don't work. But that still doesn't matter when the car is so responsive. Oh, and no glove box. This is just all clad black urethane. That's it. Does the shelf jiggle like I remember on mine? Yes, it does. The shelf just jiggle, but again, that is very little. And in order to actually open the door, you go ahead, push this handle forward and out. But that means when I'm inside, I have to reach around to grab the door handle, pull it, and then go out with it. But at least they don't pretend that you can fit someone in the back seat because, quite simply, there is none. No back seat whatsoever. And it's good than what Austin Healey did with the Sprite and put a couple of token back seats. So that's it. The 1972 MG Midget. The car that would prove to be the ultimate last hurrah to traditional English roadstering. Before, of course, it would get trounced on by Japanese competitors such as the Datsun 240Z and the Fair Lady about 4 years beforehand. It was the end of an era, and it, like many of its sisters such as the Triumph TR6, are surely to be remembered today in England and here in America. Thank you very much. This is Jake Cawell, signing off.